Welcome to another Rowdy Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. That can mean one thing and one thing only. It is a brand new episode of A Worthy Addiction.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, a show like no other, hosted by none other than me and my Rowdy brother. So I will not waste any freaking time introducing him. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a man that puts the in TIE Fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, my man, Unworthy. No, Mike. Oh, man,
and the star of the show, the host with the most, the man who doesn't know what it means when a lady says pull out is no habla. No habla. Mr. Toy Addict 17.
Thank you for that beautiful intro. And if you're watching this live, as always, or watching this on a replay, we thank you. We thank you for hanging out with us on tonight. And we have a special episode on tonight. We have an awesome guest on tonight we're going to be chatting with and I'm getting to know. But again, thank you. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you're new to this show, welcome to AWA. We are the Rowdy Boys. I am Toy Addict 17, Danny, and this is Kevin, Unworthy Collector. And
weird right now. Listen, I've got a serious question to ask you.
Yes.
Listen, we've been friends for a long time. We've known each other for a long time. I really want to show you something, and I'm really hoping that you'll be all right with me showing you something real quick before we bring our guest out here.
Yeah, show me.
I'd really like to show you my nuts.
Oh, okay.
Well, particularly my nut sack, if I may. Just real quick.
Okay.
Just real quick.
Sure.
Look at this fucking bag of this sack of nuts that I got from nuts.com, dude.
Wow. Nuts.com.
This is a 5-pound bag of nuts that you can get in your door in 24 hours. Like, this isn't a plug because we don't have a deal with them. But this I ordered this on Monday. I got home from work Tuesday, and it was at my fucking doorstep.
Now,
it's 5 pounds of custom trail mix.
So they're like different flavored nuts, like
no. Listen, this has got pecans, sesame sticks, mini pretzels, cashews, dried pineapple, dark chocolate covered raisins, gummy bears, pistachios, and banana chips.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like the drawings in the front. That's like my thing right there.
This is no joke. This is a 5-pound bag of freaking nuts that showed up on my
So
doorstep.
now, what caused you to buy a 5-pound bag of nuts? Like, what was the made you out of all the things?
Let me take you there. Let me take you to what happened. So the videos where people are like, join me as I pack up so-and-so's order, or preparing so-and-so's order,
Yeah.
And like they got the camera thing where they're showing them packing up things and making shit and sending shit out, Right. This was this thing. It was like, join us as we make so-and-so's sack of nuts. And I was like, excuse me? and then it was like, they had the big scoops and they're like taking these big fucking scoops of stuff and throwing them in a sack. And I was like, I got to find out where I can get this gigantic nut sack delivered. Get it to me.
Is it similar to the Dills? What was it? The Dills pickles? Remember when we did the Tommy Pickles, where we did like the different variety? We had the big jugs. Is it similar to that? We should do like another taste testing. Like, send me the link so I could order a bag.
Well, here's the thing. It's gonna shock you, but this is a $60 bag of nuts.
Wait, time out. So wait, last week you spent, was it last week or the week before?
Listen,
you spent 70.
Listen, I can already feel you trying to shame me here, and I won't stand for it. All right.
I'm trying to figure this out. 2 weeks ago, you said the story about going into Lowe's. You spent $70.
$75 on Coca-Cola.
$75 on Coca-Cola, and now you spent $60 on a bag of trail mix nuts.
On a bag of nuts, yeah.
Okay.
You're not lost. That's correct.
Okay. I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat, sinks your ship. I hope they're really good.
Oh, it is, dude. Listen, it's been so good. Like, my daughter has been picking through there and eating all my fucking gummy bears and pineapple. But, dude, it's so good. It's so good.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely should. Definitely should.
Oh, my scoop in there. So.
All right. Yeah. I definitely. You got to send me the link. I got to check it out. Yeah, that's a lot.
I don't appreciate you shaming how much I spent. Well, so here's the thing: they have to ship it fast. A lot of that is the shipping because it's considered a perishable item, so they got to do the fucking fast shipping. So that most of the expense was the shipping.
Okay, fair. I mean, listen, whatever makes you.
I don't see you spending $60. You can. There's cheaper. The roasted nuts or the roasted pecans were like the most expensive thing that I put in there.
Okay. Oh, so you could pick out whatever you want.
Yeah, you pick out. That's what I'm saying. You go through and it's 9. There's like 9 selections you can make, and you make your own selections. They build your fucking bag of trail mix the way you want it.
And you can add like fruit,
a big sack of nuts ready to go.
Dry fruit and all that stuff too. That's not bad.
Yeah, and the fucking pineapple, the dried pineapple is like fantastic. They got the good. Sometimes you get the dried pineapple and it's like real sharp. It's like sharp when you chew it. This is like perfect.
Yeah, you definitely should. To send me the link to that because I want to check it out.
Yeah, we're gonna work on getting a sponsorship with nuts.com so we can preach the gospel of our nutsacks. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they're gonna definitely sponsor us, man. But
who wouldn't?
I mean, we've tried that. We've tried that before. Yeah, sure.
All we just got to do is make sure we don't bring up, the tentacle porn. Don't bring that up again.
Jesus, right? No. Worthy. So yeah, Unworthy asked for me. Well, I mean, that's perfect because that's a perfect segue to what our weekly habit, right? Our segment, right? That's something you purchased. I mean, me per se, what have I bought? Man, what did I buy this week? I bought a bunch of t-shirts. I bought a bunch of t-shirts. I got a lot of t-shirts from Fright Rags. You ever heard of Fright Rags? Fright Rags is like a horror like themed company. They make a lot of like graphic tees based on horror movies. I got a Critters t-shirt and I got a McFarlane what is it? A Spider-Man 300 inspired Art the Clown t-shirt. I believe that's what it was. It's like the style of the comic, but it's Art the Clown with a bunch of like intestines and stuff. So it's like really fucking cool. I got to show it to you. But yeah, I just bought some t-shirts this week. Like I really haven't done the toy thing in a while.
Next week you're going to be here telling everybody about how you spent $60 on a nutsack.
Maybe.
I think you will. Maybe. I think we got it going. We got to do it.
Oh man. Well, listen, dude. Enough about us. We have an awesome guest on tonight, so I don't want to waste any time bringing them around. I don't want to bullshit anymore. I want to bring our guests on because I want to get to know our guests a little more. So, I met this guest New Jersey Horror Con. I was there and I happened to stop at his booth where he was selling his books, man. And I really was like fascinated with like the artwork on the books he had. And I got to a little bit of a conversation to try to get to know him. And I wanted to get him on the show, to kind of just get to know him and get to know about his work and stuff like that. But, without further ado, I ain't going to waste any time introducing him. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no more. You wasted
Don't waste any more. He is a horror author, and he has a upcoming book coming out called The Pit. So without further ado, first time in AEW, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Lopera in the house. What's going on, David? How you doing?
What up, Rowdy?
How's it going, David?
How you doing? Hi, Rowdy Boys. Danny and Kevin, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming on. Well, listen, we've talked about what we've been doing. I was like what's been now in the back. Well, before we got onto the show, you let us know that you were out of town right now. So are you out in business? Are you on vacation?
Yeah, so I'm usually based in New Jersey. That's my stomping grounds. Originally from New York City, though.
Okay.
So I have to give a shout out to NYC.
Okay. Yeah.
But right now I'm visiting some family. My mother lives in Medellin, Colombia, so I'm here for a little while. staying with my cousin, who's been very gracious, having me over, and it's been a blast, man. The weather's been incredible.
That's awesome.
I've been editing a new book that's gonna hopefully release later on this year.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been a fun trip, seeing family and doing a little bit.
It's a little bit of work and pleasure.
Mostly pleasure, yeah. Mostly.
That's
pleasure.
awesome, man. That's awesome, man. Now I met you at the New Jersey Horror Con. Now and that's the first time of me meeting you at the convention. Have you done other conventions besides the New Jersey one?
Yeah, so I'm a relatively new writer. I started writing fiction about 2.5 years ago. Before that, so I've been teaching for a long time.
Okay.
I wrote mostly nonfiction, boring stuff.
Okay.
But over the years, like back to when I was a teenager, I kept a journal here and there. And then I experienced some grief in my life, something pretty, I would say like a life-changing event happened. And I've always been sort of artsy, like I'm into drawing and, just like the arts, and something just got inside of me. I was like, I want to write a book, I want to write a really dark book. And vampires called me. So I got to work on The Basement Dwellers about 2.5 years ago.
Nice.
So that was my first novel. And that was a very long, painful, brutal process in that I had no idea what I was doing. I actually I hooked up with an amazing editor who's, she might be retired now. She's an older woman who, she just tore it apart and was like, are we allowed to curse here?
No,
yeah,
you can absolutely.
Absolutely.
Use all the curses.
And she's like working on a million different projects. Like she's like kind of a big deal. I didn't realize like she, cause I joined a lot of groups on Facebook, a lot of writing groups. And I was looking for a developmental, like a professional editor to help me out. And she responded, we exchanged information. So that's how we got in touch. And she's like, basically, she didn't like my story. She's like, this is absolute shit. Like, this sucks. So I was like, oh man, I got a lot of work to do here. She's like, you're missing like a whole chapter. Like, you got to add some stuff here for it to make sense.
Right.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the book that you picked up at NJ HorrorCon, right?
Yeah. It was, that's currently the one I'm reading right now. The Basement Dwellers I'm reading right now. Yeah.
So, The Basement Dwellers, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'll tell you guys briefly, for those of you that haven't read it yet, what it's vaguely about. So it follows two siblings, Colette and Jermaine Dupree. They're from New Orleans, and you actually don't meet them until chapter 4. So you might start off reading the book and be like, what the hell's going on here? It's not about these siblings. One unique thing about this novel that I thought was pretty cool when I went into it was it jumps around different timelines, and it goes from 15th century, so mid 1400s, all the way to the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And you have all these characters that tie into the siblings' story as they're trying to find a remedy to help save their father. So that's the main crux of that novel.
Now, one of the things. I'm glad you mentioned that because I was gonna definitely ask you in regards to it, but I'm glad you mentioned the story about the whole the editor and how she just kind of like destroyed. So one of the things that I learned about you is you're a comic book. You love comic books, and that's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about. So I don't know if you ever watched Comic Book Man? The show with Kevin Smith. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of Comic Book Man. I used to watch the show a lot, and I still watch it now. It's on Sling if you ever want to watch it. It's this app called Sling. You can watch all the episodes. But like they had Stan Lee on, and Stan Lee was just kind of hanging out with them. And Stan Lee was in the podcast, and one of the stories that he had said was the time he was going to quit comic books. And he explained that, he had this editor that every time his editor would just kept telling him, listen, I need action. I want you to just give me action and fighting in these stories. And Stan was a little frustrated. And Stan was like, well, when am I going to be able to just tell a story? He was like, yeah, you can tell your stories, whatever, but nobody wants stories. People want action. We want action and we want all this stuff. So he went home and he basically, told his wife, he was like, honey, I'm going to quit because this is not writing. I don't feel like I'm writing anything. This is not writing for me. And she told him, well, how about you do this? How about you take a story and you write it your way? Because what's the worst that's gonna happen? What, you're gonna get fired? Okay, fine, you get fired. You were gonna quit anyway, so it makes no difference. So he is like, okay. So he goes and writes the Fantastic Four, and it becomes a big seller. So you know what I'm saying? So like he took a chance. So like, so like saying that story, do you feel that was actually one of my questions? Do you feel like you took a chance?
That was a question.
No. I was. Can you let me? No. The question is like having experienced that. Do you feel like with Basement Dwellers was that kind of like was that kind of like the situation where you felt like everything was kind of just being torn, and you kind of just took a chance on how you felt about it and what you wanted, and
I think it goes both ways. Like she definitely had a lot of constructive feedback, which I'm being completely honest here. Like I had no idea what I was doing when I wrote like a first chapter and felt pretty good about it. I sent it out to some people in the groups and I was like, hey guys, like read this. Let me know what you think. And the overall response was like, this is pretty cool. Like I like, I want to know more. So I think the most important thing with any story is, you want the reader to keep going. Like you don't want to bore them. So that's kind of where I was going. And with that book, I just went with my gut. I was like, I'm going to use all the skills that I currently possess and just go with my gut. And if it sucks, like that's what it is. Like I just want to get it out of me. But generally people have been enjoying the story. And it's pretty out there. Like, I don't know how far you.
I've gotten to chapter 5. Like I did. Okay. I really enjoyed the story with the party where where Casimir and Andrew are like, Andrew's having a party, and like I like that whole like setup where it kind of reminds me of like the 80s movies where like the parents are away and like the kids decide they want to, and like how he's describing. One of the things I will say that you do good is that you describe like certain feelings and certain moments, and like you really, really make a reader like not just know how they're feeling, but like you kind of like visualize everything that's going on because you describe everything and you do it so well. So one of the things that I like enjoyed about that story was that how it brought me back to a lot of like the 80s movies, right? Where it's like they're having this party and all these kids are smoking marijuana and he's like paranoid because like, how the hell are we going to get this smoke out of here? It's going to smell. My parents going to come back. A fight breaks out, but then this goth girl shows up and she's like staring him down, and she
always
thinks
goth girl.
Yeah, dude, and she's hot and he wants to know it, but he's like a virgin, and she's like, how does she even know I'm a virgin? Or like, it's like cool. Like it kind of, it remind you ever watch Once Bitten with Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Yeah. It really brought me back to that. Like the first thing, as soon as I was reading, I was like, Once Bitten, like, because Jim Carrey was like that in the movie where he was like, he was trying to like get intimate with his girlfriend, but she was like refusing because he was trying to like give up his virginity, but like he was so timid, like he couldn't really, like he wasn't that guy until like he got bit and then he became the cool guy, right? So it kind of like brought me back to that. So like that's what I like. I like a lot of the 80s kind of nostalgia thing to it, but I also like how you describe like certain scenes, certain emotions and stuff like that, because that's the kind of stuff that when I'm reading that brings me in. Like I'm like into that stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so a lot of people describe The Basement Dwellers as a YA novel, young adult novel. But there's definitely like, as you go on, you're going to see there's pretty extreme elements as far as where I go with the content.
Yeah.
But I definitely drew a lot of inspiration from 80s, 90s movies with teenagers in high school, but also from my personal life. Like I went back and I was like thinking of, what was it like when I was in high school? What were we doing? And You know, we were definitely hanging out in basements doing a lot of stuff we probably shouldn't have been doing. So that's kind of like where that title came from, where that idea came from. And then I just kind of went obviously supernatural with the vampires.
That's awesome, man. We're definitely going to dig deep, but like one of the things that I like to do on this show, because I definitely want to hear so much more about what you got going on as far as these stories is concerned. But one of the things that I like to do on this show is just kind of like do like an icebreaker. We kind of just broke the ice already, but like I have a discussion question for us, and seeing as this is you're a horror author, and you know I love horror movies, and I figured, and you also have a question of your own that you know you mentioned, and I definitely want to answer that question. But question of the night for everybody, even people who are watching, is which horror villain do you think is the most terrifying? What do you think in horror? Like, it could be in movies, it could be in books, it could be who do you think? Yeah. And I kind of start off. I want to say the obvious, like people like Freddy, and I want to say the obvious people, but then and I think about it, I think Jigsaw from Saw is terrifying as hell. And the reason I say it's an elderly man has terminal cancer. He's gonna die, and it's just this vendetta and the whole like revenge thing because of whatever, and like just how much thought he puts into the traps and like how he makes you kind of like decide your fate. Like that to me is terrifying. That to me is it's a lot more like the slasher stuff can be real because you know we do have murderers and stuff. You've heard stories and all this, but like somebody to take their time to do stuff like that terrifies me because it's like, how do you? I can never imagine myself
torture devices,
right? Like, how do you like?
And then ways is like
yes,
yeah,
right. And then it's like, and every like torture element that you have, like I want to say, like everything Jigsaw kind of puts everybody through. It's kind of like based on whatever they did or their life. It's something that affects him. And like I know in one of the scenes, one of the girls, I think his apprentice, she was like heavy into drugs, and he like had all these syringes everywhere around her. And I'm like, yeah, like I work at a hospital, and I'm like, that's like one of my biggest fears, that I pick up something, there's a syringe somewhere, and I'm like, oh no, like
have you seen all the Saws, Danny?
I've seen the first and second. I can't really remember all the one, but I've seen the last one. I've seen that. I like that one a lot.
2. I might have seen 3 or might have skipped it. I think I saw 4.
Right. There's a couple that I don't remember.
Where I got to, but yeah, they got very creative.
Right. I always felt that when it came to Saw, I always felt that we didn't need a sequel. Like I think the first one was good enough. Like having that element of surprise.
Some of the Saw movies, they were like shock, nasty, scary jump scares.
A lot of like
the Lincoln Park guy in the car. I thought that one was a bit much.
Right.
What's that 90s horror film? I'm blanking out with Brad Pitt. What's in the box? That sort of got a Saw element where the serial killer, Kevin Spacey's a serial killer.
Oh, is it the box? It's not is it 12 Monkeys?
No, it's not 12 Monkeys, but I was thinking about that movie.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Is that a fucking movie? 12 Monkeys?
It sounds like it. Like, I don't know. I might be wrong. Somebody help me here. 7. There you go. Thank you, Raven. Appreciate you.
Yeah, so 7 uses like the deadly sins. Kevin Spacey like uses the 7 deadly sins on his victims. Right. So it's like got that similar element of getting very creative with the way they're taking out their victims.
So, David, which horror movie villain do you feel is the scariest? He's the most terrifying.
I'm gonna have to go, and you might relate to this because you mentioned you work in a hospital. I'm gonna have to go Annie Wilkes' Misery.
Yes. Yeah.
My worst nightmare.
No, man, that movie. Wow. Yeah. That's a really, really good movie. I really enjoy that movie.
It really holds up too. I've seen it like a few times. I think the last time I saw it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Excellent.
One of the things about that movie that anytime I watch it, I'm like, it's like I really feel bad how quickly the sheriff. Remember the sheriff? I thought it was very unnecessary for him to get killed off that quick. Like I really thought he would be the hero in the movie and actually find him and kind of save him. Like, I felt really bad when they just killed him off that way. And it was just like, because his relationship, he was like the fun part about that movie. Him and his wife together were like super great. Like that to me, I always felt like, man, like what a waste of a character. Like you let me enjoy him for a while and then boom, you're going to kill him off like that, like nothing. So,
yeah, it's kind of like signature Stephen King. Like he makes you really care for these characters. They're usually like really nice older person, and then they get off. You know,
right? Mm-hmm. Unworthy, who would you say is your most terrifying horror villain?
You know, I think I'm going to switch it up and go with concepts. Like I think the because there isn't a bad guy in The Purge. But I think the concept of being purged is the scariest to me, because I'm an asshole to a lot of people. So I think I would be on the list for a lot of people.
They'd come after you, Kevin?
I think so. I think I wouldn't.
I think he would be offended if he wasn't on the top of somebody's list. Trust me. Really?
With my work, I travel a lot. I travel a lot with work, and I'm an asshole to a lot of people. Like people don't like me, so I think I would probably be hunted down.
I like that idea though. You could also go with like natural disasters. You know, like those old
right.
The Fog.
The only ones I would definitely not put in that category is like something like Jaws. Like that's their element. There's no way you could tell me that Bruce the shark is a villain in that movie. That shark is in his element. Dude, nobody told you to be in that
already this summer. It's like
like you should not be in that water. Like if you knew there was a shark in that water, why are you still like the villain in that movie is the mayor. He's the villain in it. Like Jurassic Park, who is the villain? Humans. There's no reason why we had to clone dinosaurs. Let them be dead. You just had to bring them back. Yeah. So anything with some creatures, it's like Cocaine Bear. Who gave the dog cocaine? Who gave the bear cocaine? It's not the bear's fault. Like, of course, it's gonna be rabid. So I always said anything with animals is like, it's like, why are we trying to make them the villain? Like that's their turf. Like you're in their territory, like messing with them. Like they're not, you know?
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the animal trope in horror.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with creatures, like monsters.
Creatures? You know? All right. Yeah, now, David, you had an awesome question earlier that you wanted to ask us. And what was that question again? So definitely want to.
Oh, yeah. I came prepared with a few questions for the giveaway, but we're going to do it a different way. This is just for fun. So let's see if anyone knows. If someone could put it in the chat. So the first question I came up with was what or who is Crom, spelled C-R-O-M, and what movie is it from?
Crom.
So what or who is Crom, and what movie is it from?
So are you asking? I haven't. I know the answer.
Oh, you know the answer? Let's see if anyone in the chat knows it.
I am echoing really bad. I'm going to drop out and come right back in.
Yeah, you're echoing a bit. Yeah. All right. So, anybody know the answer to that question? You got me there.
Do you know?
You got me there.
Raven's Eye Studios got it. Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the chat's here. I want to say what's up to. So we got Diggs in the house. What's up, Diggs? Chain Bros, what's going on? We have Mad Hatter.
What's up?
How you doing? Welcome. We got Ravens, obviously, is up here. He says it's still echoing. Yeah, it is echoing a little bit.
I'm working on it.
What's up, everyone? That's weird. I don't hear where the echoing.
I hear him echoing a little bit.
I hear. Yeah, I hear everybody echoing now.
Yeah, me too. I'm echoing a little bit. I'm like, I can hear myself repeating myself.
Hold on.
All right.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, we'll make it work. So. All right, you have another question? Let's hear another one.
Oh, this is a tough one. This is a hard one.
Let's hear it.
What was the first true horror comic ever? The first horror comic.
First horror comic ever.
Yeah.
Was it? I want to say Dracula, the living vampire. Was it that? It wasn't Dracula. Right? Marvel.
So my speaking?
It says it.
I can't get anything to do. I can't get it to do anything with the settings. I'm not echoing now. I don't know what happened. Now just Danny's echoing. Hold on a second. We'll kick him out. Oh, now I'm echoing again. Son of a bitch.
Mad Hatter says Frankenstein.
Good guess. No, that's this is a tough question. It's
Comics.
Eerie number 1.
Eerie number 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's hear another one. I gotta get one of these.
You gotta be right at some point.
Actually, that's all the questions I have.
Oh, okay. Now, you had asked the question earlier. The question when you had asked was, what's an underrated horror movie, right?
Yeah. So I was compiling a list of horror films that I think are
what's up, Links?
Severely underrated, and a lot of them are starting to get forgotten, I think, because they're so old now, from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
A couple of them. One of them's from the 70s. Yeah, so underrated horror films, and then you guys can let me know. Also, everyone in the chat, you could chime in.
Yeah, definitely. I want to say for an underrated horror movie, it's actually one of the T-shirts I bought. It's Critters. I think Critters is so underrated. I love Critters. I think it's like I want to say they're worse than the Gremlins because they are fucking terrible. And like I was really happy. What was that? You never seen Critters?
I might have to watch that.
Dude, there's so.
If I did, I was like 8 years old, you know.
So Critters is basically it's like this race of like little furry. They look like Furbies. Like I don't know if you remember Furbies.
Oh yeah,
growing up, but like they look like miniature fur balls, and there's these little mean looking monsters with sharp teeth.
Where is your critter? You have one.
Oh, here he is. It looks like this.
Yeah, I remember the poster. Like the poster's so classic.
And there's like these. I love that there was these 2 bounty hunters that would come and they would like try to kill the critters, and one of them was able to shapeshift. But I always thought that movie needed like a sequel. Like I want a Critters reboot. Because it was one of those movies, like I watched the Gremlins and like it was scary for a little until it wasn't scary because Gizmo was awesome. But then it was like, all right, here's Critters, here's Gremlins. It's okay scary, but let me give you Critters. That's what Gremlins should have been. And I'm like, yeah, if they're fucking. And then they do this thing where they all multiply together, they become this big old ball like Indiana Jones. So like once they're like there's this scene where this guy's running and they like run, like they like roll over him, and like when they come off of him, like he's like skinned bones, like there's nothing. They ate him up so quick. It's so fucking fun. It has some funny parts, but it's such a good. You got to watch it. Critters is great.
I don't think I've seen it. No, Raven's Eye described it perfectly. Shape-shifting bounty hunters were the best. Or no. Angry space porcupines with chainsaw teeth.
Yes,
there you go.
That's exactly what they are. They're fucking horrible. And still twitching.
Yeah, so it was a one and done. They just made one film and that was it.
No. They had a few. They had a few films. They had a few of them. It's just there's nothing like the original, the first one that came out, right?
Oh.
I just always felt like it was underrated because it was like a movie that they made, and like hasn't been a reboot. Like people don't really talk much about Critters. They don't really talk about that movie much, and it's like, man, like that's a great movie to watch. Like that's definitely a movie I would definitely love.
He's way overselling it.
Oh man, it is that good. If you watch Critters
from back in the day are the best,
Listen, if you haven't watched Critters, you need to watch Critters. Like it's a really, really good. It's a fun movie for that time. It's definitely a good movie for that time. It's a lot better than a lot of the crap that's come out this year. Trust me.
You sold me. Oh yeah, anything within the past besides Terrifier, like I'm just
right. Terrifier's great.
Horror cinema, man.
Critters 2 is dope. I agree.
All right, I got a film. Unless Unworthy, you got a film you want to shout?
No, you go ahead.
I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this one, but Ghosts of Mars 2001.
Ice Cube
film.
Ice Cube. Yeah,
it was fun.
It was good. I like the fight music. Remember when the trailer used to come out and fight music with D12?
That was in the movie.
Like right? that was like the shit. Like when that song came out, like I played that song a whole lot. So that was like, yeah, but it's definitely, I love the first one. John Carpenter's The Vampires is great. Like I love that one, but Ghosts of Mars was definitely different. But I could see that one being kind of underrated too. Like it's a movie that a lot of people don't talk about. I want to say it's because of Vampires, because Vampires was good.
Yeah, and a lot of these movies I pulled and I just put on the list, they have like a 5 rating, like nothing over 6. So it means they're really not that loved,
Right.
All right, I got 2 movies by Brett Leonard, Lawnmower Man and Virtuosity. Have you guys seen those?
What? Say that again?
The Lawnmower Man. It's from 1992.
I don't recall that one.
And Virtuosity is 95. That's Denzel and Russell Crowe. Have you seen that?
Got me there. I haven't seen those.
These films I think they're gonna get lost in time with the new generation, man. Like, so Virtuosity is pretty sick. Denzel plays a law enforcement agent, and Russell Crowe is a computer. He was a serial killer, and he was like put in a program, and he gets loose from the computer program. So he's like out in the real world, and he's like hunting Denzel. I might be describing it wrong, like as far as the plot goes, but it's really trippy and it's got that like sci-fi horror element.
It says Lawnmower Man is a classic, way ahead of his time when it came out. Matt Haddon says, never heard of him, need to watch him now. And then KJ says, bro, I had your back on Ghosts of Mars, but these twos are whack.
yeah. They're in like the 5 range, but I think they're pretty good.
Have you ever watched a movie called Silent Rage with Chuck Norris back in the day?
Possibly. It's Silent Rage?
It's called Silent Rage, and I always talk about this movie. It's like this mental patient who ends up getting killed. He attacks this woman, he murders her, and he ends up getting killed. But then, like, as he's dying, they want to try this serum to kind of bring him back, so he becomes like he's able to regenerate himself. But then it's like it doesn't work out in their favor. So like Chuck Norris is like the sheriff in the town. So he's like, it's like young Chuck Norris. Like we're talking like blonde hair, really small mustache Chuck Norris.
I don't think I've seen that one. I might have caught it like back on TNT way back in the day.
Yeah, dude, it's a classic. It's definitely a classic.
I'm gonna jot that down. That sounds awesome. I'm a big Chuck Norris fan. Rest in peace.
Yeah, absolutely. So David, you told us a little bit about you, man, but I have some questions for you to kind of like help everybody kind of get to know you. So what I think you've answered this question already, but was there first question for you is, was there a particular book or movie or author that made you fall in love with the genre?
Yeah, that's my mind goes directly to George R. R. Martin. Author of Game of Thrones. So I read Game of Thrones a few years back, and it really inspired me to start writing for whatever reason. Like I just love the way, his prose flow. I'm sorry, guys. There's a dog in the background. You might hear it.
It's okay. I can hear mine too.
I thought it was Danny's dog.
Yeah, there's a back here.
Mine's
one of them is kind of whiny. So yeah, George R. R. Martin. Definitely Clive Barker. I've been reading Aaron Burgard lately. So he's the author of Playground, The Slob. I'm not sure if you've heard of those books. He's a pretty famous splatterpunk extreme horror writer, and he's awesome, man. I've been reading. He's like more of a current author that I really enjoy. Obviously, you have your Stephen King.
Yeah.
Joe Hill, who's his son, is amazing.
Yeah, he's great.
But yeah, the list goes on and on.
Now, we mentioned comics earlier. So now, when you were growing up, and even now, right? You go into comic stores. What are you picking up? Like, what certain books are you picking up for comics?
So as far as comics go, I'm a big James Tynion fan. Are you familiar with James?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah.
We just did. Yes.
Yeah, so I was really big into. I got to catch up. Actually, I read a bunch of issues.
That's how you say it. You've been saying it wrong forever.
I always thank you for letting us know. Can you finish, please?
I know it's pronounced that way because he like.
I say Tynion. I always James Tynion. I always.
You're wrong.
I know it's.
You're wrong.
I always say Tynion, and you know what? He's been so nice to me. And anytime I've met him in New York Comic Con, I'll say Tynion, and he doesn't give me that
he doesn't
shit.
care.
He doesn't care. He says, "Hey, thank you, man. Thank you so much."
Yeah, he
cancel you.
He writes in his newsletter is Tiny Onion, and he's like, Tiny Onion newsletter. This is how it's pronounced. So that's kind of how I remembered it. But Department of Truth is really sick. Nice House on the Lake. Like I love those like kind of gritty noir horror comics, and I definitely try to infuse a lot of those inspirations in my own work. So I definitely have written some horror like crime influenced stories. Now I'm kind of moving more in the supernatural direction, but I love crime, man. Like writing crime is so much fun, and action, embedding like.
Have you ever read? Have you read Something's Killing the Children by
That's the
James
one I have not read. No, I haven't read. I gotta get my hands on a trade paperback because I just started.
Yeah, I just started reading Exquisite Corpses also, and that's pretty good too. So
yeah, that's a newer comic.
Yes,
right?
a newer one. There's only like 3 volumes right now, like the graphic novels. So you're able to jump on that right now. So another question for you is like what part of horror do you feel is like most challenging for you? Like when you're writing a novel or you're writing a book, what would you say is the most challenging part about writing one?
So I really hate editing, even though it's one of the most important things. Is once you're done with your manuscript, you got to go back and you got to tweak it. You got to try to make it, obviously the best version it could possibly be.
Yeah.
And I just like to kind of move on and start something new.
Yeah.
I get bored very easily. So, like once I'm done, I'm like, okay, like that's it, like on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But that's not the way, it works. Like that's not the way, a good product is achieved. So, I would say that's one of the toughest things for me.
Another question I have for you is, do you outline your novels or do you let the story unfold as you write it?
I fly by the seat of my pants. So I just start writing. Like I think of an idea usually for a little bit. And then I just get started with chapter 1. What I do, because I know everyone works differently, obviously.
Yeah.
But what I have started doing is I'll just jot down a bunch of bullet points for what I'm going to do either that day or that week.
Okay.
Just to kind of like lead me like in the direction that I want to go, to help me like go, okay, so this is where I want to go next. So usually I think there's a dog fight right now. It's like really distracting.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
I'm like trying to talk and there's like 3 dogs getting at it right now.
We had echoing going on and it wasn't an issue that your dogs are fighting.
I hope that echoing stopped at least. So I don't know. I can't really outline. I mean, what I have done. So right now I'm working on like 3 completely new books. So what I have done is like I'll do a part 1, a couple bullet points, part 2, some bullet points, and then part 3. But I feel like if you if you outline too much, at least for
Mm-hmm.
me, it kind of like takes the joy out of discovering like what could come next. And like that's like, to me at least, that's like the whole fun of writing is you really don't know, at least like interesting stories.
Yeah.
You got to kind of push boundaries and push limits. And like, if it's too outlined and like too manicured, I feel like, I don't know, man, you run the risk of it being kind of boring and like, so, but everyone works differently, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm self-published. So, you know, obviously I write my own stuff, work with professional editors. I try to get amazing artists and illustrators to design artwork for it. But you know, I end up writing stuff that would not get published by like the big five, you know, like there's, you know, The Dark Pit is my newest book. It's coming out at the end of August, and it's definitely not for everyone. I had some ARC readers, advanced readers who are readers who get advanced copies to leave a review. They were enticed because the main character, he plays a game to try to win money, and they like that idea. One lovely woman described it sort of being like an extreme version of Saw, you know? So a lot of people don't really know what, but there is a content warning right at the start. You know, you open the book, and right there it says, you know, warning, book contains graphic content, you've been warned. So I think maybe if I were to write something a little longer, you know, 400 or 500 pages later on down the road, I could see where you might benefit from like outlining, you know?
So one of the things that you did earlier is you talked a little bit about the Basement Dwellers, but you also do have, besides the Pit, you also have other books that you have written also, and one of them, I'm just going to showcase one of them being The Safe Room. Tell us a little bit about The Safe Room.
Yeah, so The Safe Room follows this young girl who she's not really a bad kid per se, but she ends up getting in trouble at school. She's a little bit of a brawler. She's a fighter, you know, so she gets into fights and knocks girls out. Her parents really don't know what to do with her. She's sort of like upper middle class, so they end up sending her to this institution for young women and teenagers. It's out in a rural area, and it's advertised and packaged to parents as, you know, there's hiking trails, and this you know, institution is amazing, where we have all these activities and programs for the young women to try to rehabilitate them. Some of them are, you know, addicted to drugs, have all sorts of various mental, you know, disabilities that they're dealing with, emotional disorders. And she ends up there right off the bat. It's not what it's advertised to be. So it's run by very evil individuals. And do you guys know who Ghislaine Maxwell is?
I don't.
So she was the right-hand woman to Jeffrey Epstein. So I sort of imagined, I was like, what if, you know, this woman who is probably one of the most evil pieces of craps in the world were to run a facility, an institute for young women. And that's kind of where that idea came from, because there's a very awful director in charge of this place. And I sort of modeled her after, you know, the aforementioned
the evilest of evil.
Yeah. But you know, in writing that, I thought, so what I'm doing now is, you know, your first question of who do you think the most evil villains of any horror story is? I thought, you know what, I could push the boundaries, I could push the limits a little more. So that's kind of where I'm going with future stories. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, man.
It's kind of the same thing when it comes to like going back to comics. It's kind of the same thing when it comes to like a lot of independent companies, right? Where they could push the boundaries with stories sometimes more than the big two, right? like DC's and your Marvels, right? They have like their black labels, their Elseworld stories, and sometimes they do, but like not as much as like companies like Boom or like Dark Horse and stuff. They're able to kind of push the envelope a little more and give you stories that are kind of like fuck with your head a little bit. So that's kind of where I gravitate from. Now, another story that another book that you have, and I want to know a little bit about this one as well, is the Silent Invasion. What is this one about?
Yeah, so Silent Invasion, I had a lot of fun writing that. That's an alien invasion story.
Nice.
So it starts off with this 30-something-year-old. He's trying to sell his Ford pickup truck to some guy, and the guy's like lowballing him, and he's like kind of annoyed. And then all of a sudden, the guy he's trying to sell the car to starts having a seizure. His eyes roll back, and he's like seizuring, and the main character is like, what the hell's going on? And the guy basically tries to kill him. He's like going to bite him, and he bites a piece of his arm, and he like dips into the pickup truck and just takes off. So he's driving around town, and then all of a sudden, like, buildings are on fire, cars are crashing, people are just running through the streets like insane maniacs.
Yeah.
He's like, what is going on? He's trying to tune through the radio to see like what the news is saying, and it's like all normal, like regular sports shows. He's like, it's not even being broadcast.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, jets are flying overhead, whistling overhead, and he's like, I need to take shelter.
Yeah.
Somewhere, like this is insane. And he rents a self-storage facility unit. He's like, I'm gonna go to the self-storage facility unit that's like 2 miles away and take refuge there, and that's where the story mostly takes place. So he pulls up to the facility, and it's pretty well fortified.
Nice.
The manager doesn't want to let him in. He's like, I'm normal. He has to convince her, let me in. I'm going to die. Like, there's maniacs out here trying to kill me.
All right.
And she's like, all right, you kind of look normal. So she lets him in, and there's a good cast of characters in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a little spoiler, but you'll still have fun if you read it. There's a Vietnam vet who walks with a limp. He's like in his late 60s.
Yeah.
And he's got a full storage unit filled with ARs, and even he's got a flamethrower. Like, it's crazy. So they kind of use that to their
That's
advantage.
awesome. Now, speaking of sci-fi, like, what would you say is your favorite sci-fi movie? Like, what would be your favorite sci-fi movie?
Oh man, so before I got into horror, I was a big sci-fi nerd, and was a big Philip K. Dick fan. So he wrote the stories to Total Recall, Blade Runner. He did Minority Report. So a lot of his stuff turned into movies. But yeah, just anything where there's like androids, Blade Runner, anything like that really interests me. Technology just going haywire.
Yeah.
All that.
I've always gravitated. Back to the Future for me is definitely like my top sci-fi movie. I can never say that movie's bad. I could listen to that movie just as like background noise. Like, I love that movie that much. So it's like I've tried to like find other movies to kind of be like, oh, this movie better than Back to the Future? Like, I've watched other sci-fi movies, and then it's like it can't. Like, there's nothing that kind of takes that from my top 5 of sci-fi movies. Like Back to the Future, and all three. I love all 3 of them.
Did you see the car at the New Jersey Horror Con?
I did. I took photos.
Nice.
I took photos. Me and my brother. It was funny too because they had the van. They had the mayor's van, and then they had the actual like car, like the car where they kind of threw them in the trunk. They had that car there as well. So
I didn't see those. They were like
they were all well. They showed up afterwards. The DeLorean shit was there, but then all the other ones showed up afterwards. So it was pretty cool. Just so everybody, whoever's here is still sticking around. I didn't want to forget, but we also have a giveaway on tonight. David is graciously giving he's giving away two of his books today. One of them being The Dark Pit. one of his newest books, and the other one being on Basement Dwellers. So like we're gonna have 2 winners tonight, and each winner is gonna have 1 copy of one of these books. So each is gonna be in one. So, but I wouldn't want to forget about that. Now, David, how do you spend? Have you had any? Well, if you could spend, like, if you could take any franchise, right, any horror franchise, if you were given the rights to direct or write any franchise, any horror franchise, which franchise would you write?
Man, that's I'm thinking of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. Now that there's a new movie, they announced a new movie. They're supposed to be getting somebody else. Jim Carrey, apparently. There's rumors that Jim Carrey may be the guy to play him. Who knows? I don't know if that's true or not. But that would definitely be wild. But so Nightmare on Elm Street, like how different would you make it compared to like what we've gotten? And we don't include the newest version either. We don't talk about that one.
The idea that, you can get killed in your dreams is just so unique and so different. I would just go completely crazy with that. I loved how in was it part 3 where the guy got killed like through the TV monitor?
Believe so.
3 or 4.
What's that? That's not Dream Warriors is 4.
Dream Warriors. Yeah, it was
Was it Dream Warriors? I think so.
Yeah. They were in the mental asylum, the institution there.
Right.
They were trying to
those movies were so like those I love those movies because they sometimes you get the first one, but then there's times where you get scenes where they don't take themselves so serious, but it's kind of still scary. Like that whole scene where like the kid is like a big video game. He's a big gamer, and like he pulls his like veins out and like he's like walking around and he's like playing with him like he's a video game and shit, like that stuff. Even like with the Super Freddy, like comic book, the kid's a big comic book kid, and then Super Freddy shows up and like fucking kills him. Like I love shit like that. Like I always felt like those stuff. I mean, it got a little campy in the end and it got a little weird, but like little stuff like that, I feel like Robert Englund's character, even like Freddy, could get away with shit like that, and it was like he still always found a way to kind of make it scary. So it's just awesome. But wow, Friday Nightmare on Elm Street.
Another pick would probably be Hellraiser.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the sequels just they didn't do the original justice. The first 2 are pretty intense and really well done.
I would say, did you like the new version, the newer version that came out, the reboot, right? It was like a reboot that came out. Did you like that one?
Where it was played was Pinhead a woman?
Yeah.
Was that? I couldn't finish it.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't finish it. Yeah.
Is there a reason? Like, is it because it wasn't like? I mean, I was always told that it was based more off the novels, right? Like I haven't read the novels. Like I've always watched the movies, but like for somebody to read the novels, they said it was true to the novels more than the other.
I think it was more the story. Like I don't know. I was having trouble. I probably got like 70% through it, and then just didn't. I didn't finish.
Wow. I actually liked it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite one.
Yeah,
I think it was the most book accurate depiction of Pinhead or the Cenobites, really.
Yeah.
From 2022.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give it another shot. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood to see it.
Is there any projects that any books that you have written that haven't been published, haven't been brought out, or any ideas that you have that you eventually want to put out, like stuff like whether it's sci-fi or horror? Like, is there any like projects that you have not released yet that eventually you will? And if so, like what is the what's kind of like what's holding you back from not releasing them? Like, is there anything like that?
So there's currently 3 new books that I'm working on.
Okay.
But I don't want to say too much about them.
Yeah.
They're like first draft stage.
Yeah.
But like I'm super I'm super stoked about them. One, I'll say more after the Dark Pit comes out.
Yeah.
After the end of August, probably like early September. And I think I'm going to be able to get that out for Halloween season, which is going to like work out perfectly if the stars align. And the others, there's one I'm writing that's going to be a little longer, and I think it's going to be similar with regards to themes, share some similar themes to Basement Dwellers.
Yeah.
And then the other one that's going to be later, probably like middle or late 2027. That's going to be completely insane. And the only thing I'll say about that is cannibals.
Oh, nice. Were you into like were you ever into like, I know you've mentioned sci-fi, you've mentioned vampires and stuff. Have you ever like thought about, like, now that you're saying cannibals, have you ever thought about doing maybe zombie apocalypse like theme books? Or
Definitely, yeah. So Silent Invasion, they weren't zombies. They were, so there's an invasion. So they're sort of being controlled by, we don't really get into the aliens or what's controlling people and turning them into these maniacs. But that was just so much fun to write because it's, you want to make it really fast paced. And, that's the way a good zombie flick should be, or a good zombie story.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, what would you say is one of the best interactions you've ever had at a convention? Like, have you ever had an experience where you've had somebody like, you've interacted with, or even an inspiring writer, right? Somebody that wants to write stories and wants to write books. Have you ever had any experiences like that? And if you could tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. So the conventions, I just started them earlier this year. They've been so much fun, man. Like, meeting, you and just people who are so into horror. It's really inspiring and just makes me want to keep creating.
Yeah.
Keep trying to go back to the drawing board and seeing like, what else can I do to try to scare the crap out of people, I think it's like the most fun thing to do. But I just met at New Jersey HorrorCon some really cool people. Jason Barton, who he produced Terrifier 2, which is one of my favorite movies, the last, favorite horror movies, I would say the last 10, 15 years. That was really cool. He grabbed one of my books, which is awesome. And there were so many cool people there, as you saw,
Yeah, no, there were. That was
came by, like,
right.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
It was so well organized too. It wasn't something where if you wanted to meet a celebrity, it wasn't like you had to wait in a super long line. And if you did, they just kept the flow going. It wasn't something where you were like waiting hours and hours. I've been to a lot of horror conventions, and there are times where, I mean, it depends on who it is too. Like if I really want to meet somebody, like I met David Howard Thorne, the guy that plays Art the Clown. And that line was the line was long, and I waited just about an hour just to meet him. But he was the nicest guy too. Like he was the one that stayed the last out of all the celebrities that he was on the stage, because he made sure he took care of every single person that came to see him. He made sure he stayed last, and he signed everybody's stuff. It was just great. What would you say? Next question I had for you. Oh my God, I had it. I'm sorry. Kevin, do you have a question, man? You have anything you would like to ask?
I can read some from the Dark Pit.
I'm trying not to speak as much as possible because I'm echoing so bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I could read something from the Dark Pit.
Yeah, please go ahead.
All right, so let me set this up. So there's 9 experiences that the main character, Michael Katz, has to get through in order to win this massive sum of money.
Yeah.
So he's sort of toward the end. There's a part where he's riding through a haunted house. So think of, the old school haunted houses that we used to ride on when we were kids. He's on a little cart, and he's seeing like all this horrific shit. So it's a very short chapter. It's just it's a page and a half. So this is basically what's happening. "Why are you killing him?" Mike shouted. "It was his own doing," the general answered. "Wagers must be honored, and debts must be paid." The cables plunged the man waist deep into the molten river. He shrieked and convulsed as the flames climbed up his torso. Never bet more than you can afford to lose, the general said, philosophically. Watch, Michael. Watch and learn. The man's feral screams ripped at Mike's ears as with a sharp edge of agony and terror. Between the horror and the pulsing venom coursing through him, it was all too much. Help me, the man yelled. Please help. There was nothing Mike could do except watch. It was so hot he thought his own face might begin to melt. Fumaroles jetted wildly all around the car, making his eyes water. He could only hope to God that the general wouldn't use his blurred vision as an excuse to disqualify him, and that the general really would make good on his word, providing the anti-venom before his body failed and shut down. It wouldn't be much longer before it was all over for him. He gripped the metal safety bar, searingly hot though it was. Everything felt tingly, and he could sense he was losing his grip and his willpower.
Nice.
What he saw next, he knew, would haunt him for the rest of his days. The cables went taut as the man was reeled out of the burning river. His legs were charred through the muscle, revealing blackened bone and shredded ribbons, tendons, and ligaments. Ah, ah, ah! Somehow, still alive, the man most likely screamed through involuntary shock. He dangled like a freak show carnival performer after a fire illusion that had gone terribly wrong. His tortured gaze met Mike's, stark with terror and an awful awareness. A chunk of flesh separated from his calf, dropping into the liquid fire. Smoke billowed up as the gel-like neon sludge incinerated the meat. Mike wished he could somehow erase his memory. He wished he could shut his eyes, turn away, tune out the screams. But he couldn't. Until the car resumed its mechanical advance along the track, all he could do was watch.
It's awesome, man. Again, one of the things that I love about it is that you describe certain scenes, certain emotions in that thing, and it kind of brings you into the story, which is my next question. Out of all the novels that you have talked about, all the novels, all the books that you have, what would you say is your favorite one out of all?
Favorite novel? That's going to be... Oh man, I just did like a favorite fives recently.
Yeah.
I like classics, I like classics.
Yeah.
But something a little different. So I'm going to go with Crime and Punishment.
Crime and Punishment? Okay.
Yeah, it's an old school novel from a Russian author called Fyodor Dostoevsky. And it's probably the novel where I imagined like finding myself walking around St. Petersburg, Russia.
Yeah.
And I've never been there, but like I could see like the street and the buildings and the people like walking past. It was just so vivid. It's considered like one of the best novels ever written for that reason, and it's really dark. It's a really dark, it's not a horror novel, but it'll pull on your emotions, in all directions.
That's awesome.
As far as horror novels go, there's so many good ones.
Well, how about this? Which one is your favorite from the ones you've written? Which is your favorite? Which one is the one that is near dear to your heart from the ones you've written?
It's tough to say, man, because it's really up to the readers. They decide. Right. I might be so excited about something, and then people read it, they're like, "Oh, this is crap," and then they like something that I wasn't like that crazy about.
Is there any one of those that you would say maybe like Basement Dwellers, right? Like is that being like the first one, right? Is that something that you always would you put that as your number one? Like if you could pick one of yours.
Yeah, the Basement Dwellers will always have like a soft spot in my heart just because it was like the first novel.
Yeah.
And it I sort of had like some crazy ideas with the formatting of it.
Yeah.
there's a lot of characters in that and multi POVs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it jumps around. But I would say as far as horror novels, because I hate the attention just being focused solely on me.
Right.
I'm gonna go with The Damnation Game by Clive Barker.
Okay.
So I think that was his first novel, actually.
Okay.
And it's about this guy who sells his soul to the devil and just becomes insanely rich, like gets everything he's ever wanted. And it follows him as he gets older.
Yeah.
And his downfall as a result of selling his soul to the devil. So it's just it's like a masterpiece. Like, it's kind of like Hellraiser's such a classic for a reason. Like that guy, he's just a genius.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about what I'm doing now because since those, that initial novel and like what I've done, I feel like I want to just keep pushing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going more into like the splatterpunk and extreme horror side of things, whereas Basement Dwellers is definitely dark. It's more of a YA novel, although one of the reviewers who read it recently mentioned, even though it's a YA novel, like she still really enjoyed it because of the complexity of the plot.
Right.
So yeah, I'm really definitely excited about The Dark Pit. There's a limited cover that I'm releasing. I'm only printing 80 copies.
Okay.
And I'm thinking of just bringing it to conventions. So we could.
Is that the one with the cool? Am I able to say, because you did reveal the cover? Yeah, that's the real gory one. Yeah, that's pretty cool one. Yeah, and you said it's 80 copies.
Yeah, I'm just printing 80 copies. I'll sign each one. And then I'm thinking of doing like very limited sort of sales on my website, like 10 copies.
Yeah. Come
and get them. And that's then awesome. Leaving probably a good amount to lug with me to conventions.
That's cool, man. I'm definitely looking forward to that one and whatever else you got coming on. Like I said, I've been enjoying so far the Basement Dwellers. It's pretty cool, and it did give me the young readers a vibe with the cover, so it's pretty cool. One of the last questions that I have for you, and is a question that I have asked every guest that's on. If you could give advice to any new writer that wants to write a book or just wants to, like me, right? I've had this crazy idea in my mind that I've always wanted to write a children's book about me and Kevin being toy photographers and toy collectors. I've written this book. It's a children's book that I've written. I just haven't even decided how I'm going to start somewhere. If you could give me advice, if I'm a little kid or young, what advice would you give me if that's something I want to do in the future? What advice would you give me?
The best advice I've gotten is so this actually comes from George R. R. Martin, who's like, okay, he's like a god to me, obviously. And I'm sure a lot of other people. He said something like, if you want to be a writer, just write. So just get it down, start typing, or if you write freehand, however you do it, just start writing. Don't worry about it being perfect. Because I think that might be what stops a lot of people who kind of have great ideas. They might hesitate. They might be a little hesitant to get started. So that's something that's like a hurdle people need to kind of get over and jump over. Just start writing. And if it sucks, you could always go back and rework it. You could ask, I'll help you out. You could ask other people who have a little bit more experience, how do I do this? How do I get from A to B? But the main thing is just to kind of get that first first draft down.
Says, just write, then go back and edit. Well, I'm definitely going to ask you for advice.
But with that said, I hate going back. It's like So I told you I'm working on like 3 different projects right now. So one of them I focused on trying to edit during this trip, and it's like I'm pulling my fingernails off. I hate it because I'd rather be working on like the new thing, you know. But if you want it to be good, you kind of have to just get through that painful. I wouldn't say painful. Like it actually the first draft for me is like the most fun, you know. And it's painful when you have to go back and try to fix things and really trying to tighten up everything so that it's clear and makes sense and all that.
That's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, because I've had this idea for a while and I've joked around about it. Like it really started as a joke.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. But like I always thought it would be something fun to do. And like like I don't know, like us writing I got the inspiration from I went into a Dunkin' Donuts once and there was a book there, and it was a book about munchkins. I don't know why that inspired me. It's weird. This is going to be a great story someday. I feel like this is going to be an amazing story. So I went into a Dunkin' Donuts to buy a coffee, and I saw that they had a children's book, and it was about munchkins. And I was like, man, that's such a clever and great idea. Like, you know, it's Dunkin' Donuts. You're writing about munchkins. Kids love munchkins, right? I'm like, we collect toys. We take photos of toys. Like, wouldn't it be nice to write a story about, you know, kids doing what we do, right? Not grown men, right? Because it's silly. It's silly. I think it's the silliness is the fact that it's in the story is 2 kids that take photos of toys and collect toys, but in real life, it's 2 grown men, 2 grown-ass men who collect toys and take pictures of toys. And you know, when we were kids, when we did role plays and played with our toys, we took that shit serious. Like, no matter what you did with it, right? We took that shit serious. And I always thought it was nice to kind of like take me and Kevin and bring us back to where it really started, when we had imaginations and we didn't have all this responsibility, and it was just and I was like, man, I wish I would have met Kevin when I was like 5 or 7. So hey, come over, let's take some toy photos. Let's like, you know, I always thought that was pretty cool. But I appreciate the advice because it's something that I've always had in my mind to do. It's always something that I wanted to do. I just didn't know where to start. And I will definitely reach out if I need advice or something, like if it's something that I want to go forward and pursue. You know what I'm saying?
So another thing I want to mention, since we're on this topic, is actually another thing I really enjoy. Something else that's really fun. That's part of the writing process is the research. So a lot of times before I get started with something, I'll just start researching, going in deep on the topic. And since you're reading The Basement Dwellers, you've been asking me about it. You're going to get to it, but there's so Dracula is based off of Vladimir the Impaler. He was a famous Romanian king from the 1400s. And something I researched I thought it was pretty crazy interesting, was Vladimir the Impaler's, he literally used to impale people's heads onto giant spikes. That's how he used to intimidate his enemies. His bloodline is tied to the British royal families. So
that's pretty cool.
Book club.
Hashtag book club, right? Yeah, dude, I'm down.
Man, I like your idea, man. Like, just get started on it. Even if you just outline, like, you know, do bullet points. Right. I feel like once you do that, more ideas will start flowing.
Right.
You know, from that, once you get started and going, it usually kind of opens up the faucet, and you know the water will start running. You know.
Right. You hear that, Kevin? We're going to be children's book writers.
I'll see you next year at New Jersey HorrorCon, man.
All right, man. Listen, absolutely. I'm serious. Listen, it's got to be right though. Like, I've always talked about doing it, and I've mentioned it to people, and some people will laugh because they're like, "Ha, you're joking." But then I'm like, "No, I'm serious." Like, and then I remember when I reached out to Kevin, and I told Kevin about it. I was like, "I have this idea. I want to write a children's book," and he's like, Kevin's one of those people. This is why this is my best friend. He's one of those people that even if he knows the idea is terrible, he will always support that idea. Like he's so kind enough not to tell me the idea is terrible. I mean, he will if he needs to. But sometimes I feel like
I don't think it's going to be it's not a bad idea if you're passionate enough about it, you know?
Right.
And it seems like the passion is obviously there.
Right.
So now you just have to do it.
Right.
Let me ask you this. Are you, because it sounds like there might be some illustrations and graphics. Are you going to include some,
yeah, well, that's where I'm at, like, too, because I definitely want.
That's where he really hits the walls. He doesn't have any friends that are artists.
We don't have there's not a lot of people who I know who could draw, but I do have my soon to be 15-year-old daughter. She does her own art. She does her own comic books. So that's somebody that I could talk to. Like, she does really, really well. She actually sells her art, which is great. So that's somebody that I maybe could talk to and, save me a bunch of, save me some money. And, there you go. Now it's a us thing.
It's a family affair.
Yeah. So,
and
but
you could pay her with a roof over her head.
Yeah, right. Right. That's true. That is true. And she could come to conventions with me and say, "Hey, this is your art. I'm promoting."
Raven's Eye has a great idea.
What was it? I have a bunch of composition books that are full of chapters for stories, but nothing finished because I get lost when stories pop into my head. And he says, "Use your photos. Those are great." Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. I definitely will. I haven't done photos in so long. But David, man, it's again, it was such a pleasure having you on, bro. And just like I said, I got to know you briefly at the convention because I know you were probably dealing with a bunch of people and I was walking around. But like, I'm excited to finish the Basement Dwellers, and I'm excited for the next stuff because I'm already ready to order all the other ones that I wish I would have picked them all up that day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very excited to see how much I made you dinner to illustration my book.
Do a giveaway?
Yes, that's the next thing. But before we do that, I just want to let everybody know where you can find David. You can find David Lopera. You can find him on Instagram on David Lopera _fiction. And then you can also order your copies of The Dark Pit, Basement Dwellers, and all the other books he had mentioned tonight. You can order those on www.davidloperafiction.com. His website is also on our link tree. So if you go on my link tree and you go on the AW link tree or my link tree, you can also go up there if you can't find him, and you can just go to his spot and then click on it, and it'll send you to his website if you want to order the books and stay up to date to all the newer projects that David has. And yes, I think. But again, David, thank you so much for being on, dude. And I think it's time for.
Danny, can I make a quick a plug?
Yeah, absolutely.
So August 13th through August 16th, I'll be at Necronomicon in Providence, Rhode Island.
Nice.
It's not biannual. It's every 2 years.
Okay.
And my first time doing it, I'm really excited. So it's honoring H.P. Lovecraft, who was from Providence. One of the most famous horror writers to have ever lived.
Yeah.
The reason I'm afraid of oceans.
Yeah, so like if you ever seen Reanimator, that's H.P. Lovecraft story.
Reanimator.
For those that
underrated movie, by the way, it's an underrated horror movie. By the way,
that was on the list. August 22nd, I'll be at Philadelphia, so I'm wearing the T-shirt. That's my buddy Anthony's. He's got a horror bookshop in Philadelphia.
That's a really nice shirt.
Super sick shop. If you're ever in the Philly area, go check it out.
Absolutely.
And there's going to be a Philly book crawl.
Nice.
Sounds really fun. And then September 26th and 27th, I'll be back at New Jersey HorrorCon in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Maybe I'll see you guys out at that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Any chance that you'll attend a Horror Fest in Connecticut? We usually have Horror Fest here.
I tried to apply and it was closed for vendors. So I think you had to do it like a year and months in advance.
Dude, so I listen, if you're able to get out here, man, that'll be great. I'll even help you set up.
Thank you, Dan.
That'll be great. But I think
again, David, fucking shill sometimes. Jeez. Sometimes you're such a kiss ass.
You're echoing. I can't really understand you. Mute yourself. Well, I think it's time for us to do this giveaway, right? So again, thank you so much for the giveaway. That's awesome. So let's do it, man. So he's giving away 2 books tonight. He's giving away The Pit and it to one person, and then for one winner, and the other winner could win the Basement Dweller. So it's very simple. All you need to do is type up #book-club in the comments, and that counts as one entry. You need to be present. If you win, you need to be present in the chat, and you need to claim your prize. If you are not there, we're going to give you about 20 seconds. If you don't, after 20 seconds, we're going to move on and give it to somebody else. So please stay in the chat so you can win and claim your prize. And if you do win, if you're following David, send him your information so he could have those books out to you. So, but again, thank you so much for this giveaway, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's awesome, man. Other than that, other than the books, while we're waiting for people to kind of like put in the hashtags, are you any plans of watching any like Spider-Man? Are you into like the superhero stuff too?
Yeah.
You're watching Spider. I've been hearing great things about it. How do you feel about Avengers Doomsday? Are you excited? Are you a MCU fan?
Yeah, so I just heard recently Ryan Gosling's gonna play
Ghost Rider. Yeah, dude, that was great. I think one of the highlights about Hall H was having Ryan Reynolds there as Deadpool. That was cool. I love that. I love that. That was cool.
Damn straight. I'm a nerd.
Nerds. That's what's up, man. So we'll give everybody a few more minutes to kind of just type up. And then, like I said, we'll do one draw, and then we'll do a second movie
come out.
As he just saw Spider-Man today, worth it, great movie. Can't wait to watch it. I'm thinking about watching it tomorrow. So, all right, you guys let me know when you're ready to draw the first one.
Yeah, let's draw it.
Let's do it. All right. Well, good luck to everybody. Remember, be in the chat. So be in the chat, and please make sure that you're here to claim your prize. Let's do it. Raven, there you go. Congratulations, Raven. David, which one does he win?
Raven, do you have a preference?
The Dark Pit or Basement Dwellers?
Since you're the first winner.
Oh, KJ. It says the Dark Pit, please.
We got it.
That's yours. Congratulations. All right. Next one. Good luck to everybody. KJ. We should just skip him. Because he's called it rigged, so we just skip his ass in total. Skip his ass. Yeah.
I hate to see this guy win anything.
Well, congratulations, KJ.
Congratulations.
I want to say I'm happy for you, but I'm really not happy for you. But you get the Basement Dwellers. Congratulations, dude.
Awesome.
All right, for everybody that won, please make sure you send David your information so he can get those books out to you. David, thank you again for those giveaways. We like to end the show with a quote. Since you're our guest tonight, is there any quote that you like, either based on one of your books or a movie or anything, whatever you want to end the show with?
Yeah, I got a quote.
There you go.
So we're gonna go with a Theodore Roosevelt quote.
Okay.
Speak softly and carry a big stick. you will go far.
Beautiful.
I know something about that. I know something about carrying a big stick.
There you go. It'll match the giant sack of nuts that you showed earlier.
My big sack, my big nut sack, and my giant stick.
All right. Well, everybody that joined us and all the winners, congratulations. Thank you for everybody joining us. Make sure you are following David.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Kevin, good to meet you. Danny,
Very good to meet you.
Thank you.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen,
good night, beautiful.
Thank you for tuning in.
Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button
Click that notification bell.
for more content.